Hey guys, it's Jeremy with PokerAffiliateListings.com. Happy New Year, everybody. Hopefully everybody's year is off to a great start thus far. One of my New Year's resolutions this year was to do more video blogging, so here I am. But this week, actually, it's been a pretty exciting week, I think, to say the least, in online gambling, specifically in the U.S. regulated markets, and more specifically in New Jersey. This week, obviously, 2 days ago, it was announced that Party Poker is doing a deal with the New Jersey Devils as well as the Philadelphia 76ers to be their main gaming sponsor. And this is huge. And I'll preface it by saying I've been an affiliate with Party Poker. I'm going to age myself now, but let's just say since maybe I was probably one of their first 1,000 affiliates. So it's been pretty cool, though, to watch Party, prior to UIGEA and even now launching back into the market. What they were able to do prior to UIGEA in 2006, they dominated the United States market. And some of the promotions that they did, I mean, take the Monster promotion. Who doesn't remember that? Probably one of the best promotions ever. And then, of course, UIGEA came about and Party left. But now that they're back, we're just seeing some of the same ingenuity of what they did in the past. So it really, to me, it's no surprise that Party Poker is leading the market in New Jersey. If you think about it, they've been planning this, their reemergence into the market for the better half of the last 6 or 7 years. And their execution right now, I mean, I guess you look at it, I'll say 3 things about this whole deal. Number 1, genius. This deal that they're doing with the 76ers and the Devils. It's just pure genius on so many different levels. Number 2, this is much bigger than New Jersey. In fact, this is way bigger than just New Jersey. And I think we're going to see that in the months and even years to come, that Party has set such a huge precedence by being really the first online gambling company and the regulated online gambling company in the United States to sponsor a professional sporting team. It's commonplace in Europe to see this. I mean, I follow the Barclays Premier League. One, because they're on NBC, but number 2, because half you guys, my buddies, are all over in Europe and you guys follow it. But, it's commonplace. You see Bet365, Sky Sports, all kinds of different online gambling companies sponsoring these teams. And by doing that, it does a couple things. It gives credibility to online gambling in general, and it also provides or creates social awareness to online gambling. And I think that's where Party is really following that European model to the T right now. And I hope that this takes off. And when new markets open up, that we're going to see more companies jumping on this bandwagon because, again, like in the United States, for the last how many years, online gambling has really been shunned, if you will. It's been looked at as, offshore and, it's a gray area, where now this gives a lot of credibility just to the overall industry. Chris Grove, Chris Grove from Online Poker Report, which is probably one of my favorite go-to poker sites, along with PokerFuse, he wrote an article the other day, and in that article he stated, with this deal, this deal will likely accelerate online gambling regulation in other states in the U.S. And I tell you what, I've got to agree with him because, we've got a handful of states right now that are looking in 2014 to regulate online gambling. You've got Illinois, Massachusetts, Pennsylvania, New York, Florida, California. I mean, there's a handful of states out there. And take Pennsylvania, for example. Okay, the 76ers, Philadelphia, politicians are already thinking about it. So you almost have to wonder if this is going to perhaps accelerate that market, if none other markets. But the nice thing is this is bringing online gaming to the forefront in mainstream. For example, so I was at the airport last night in Minnesota, and I follow the industry. So obviously I know that online gambling is regulated, but my guess is most people outside of New Jersey don't realize that there's legal regulated gambling right now. So I'm watching the Miami Heat game, and I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, if this was next week and this was a 76ers game, all of a sudden you're going to see Party Poker on the basketball court and maybe Party Poker and other ads. And this is where, in my opinion, Party is genius. Because what they're doing is, yes, of course this is good for their New Jersey business. Of course they're going to get new players. Whether they're going to get their return on investment back right away remains to be seen. But what they're doing is they're building their brand and brand awareness throughout the entire country. Because, like a million people go to these games, the Devils and 76ers games throughout the year, where they're going to sign people live up at the games. But more importantly, people throughout the entire country are going to be seeing the Party Poker brand and bring to the forefront in mainstream regulated online gambling, whether it's just regular citizens or even the politicians and people that are going to be the ones regulating this. All of a sudden, it's going to almost be like that European model where it's socially acceptable, and hopefully that does accelerate the market. In Party 2, think of it this way: they're in front of the right demographic. You're in front of sports enthusiasts, who typically people that like to gamble are also into sports. Basketball and hockey, the primary demographic is males between 20 and 36 or whatever it is. So that's just genius in itself too. But most importantly, I think what Party is doing is obviously leading the way for other markets to open up and other companies to do the same thing. So I think it's just what's going on is great for this industry. I say kudos to Party, B-Win for these guys doing this. And it's going to be interesting throughout 2014 and even for the years to come, how much of a precedence does this set and how fast will this help accelerate this U.S. market? So only time will tell. We shall see. But that's it for today, guys. Have a great week, and I will probably, New Year's resolution, I will probably make another one of these this week.